Hello, people from TikTok. This is your second dose of daily internet terrorism. So the only reason I'm making this is to respond to the um, probably thousands of messages I've gotten asking for the code for this and kind of like a more in-depth like tutorial. And I hate tutorials with a passion, so I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible. Um, there's way less steps than the last tutorial I made. This one's pretty much just you run it, and that's it. You can do that if you have Python downloaded. So what do I think about TikTok being deleted? So I work for one of those like scary has all your data kind of internet companies that people are afraid of. I'm not going to say which, but the point of data is to just be able to charge advertisers more to show ads. Like it might cost an advertiser 1 cent to show an ad to a random person, but if you know that this person's like into cats and they have like a cat food ad or something, that'll cost like an advertiser $10. That's the beginning and end of most like advertising and what people do with your data. Like no one really cares like anything about you or me or anyone. We're basically just a bunch of walking dollar signs that these companies use to squeeze as much money out of advertisers as possible. And I don't know. I really just I don't care if some Chinese company has my data. I think that's fine. Like I do work with data a lot, and I can tell you just how like pointless it is to have for any purpose other than advertising. So those are my 2 cents. But you came here for your daily dose of cyber terrorism. Do I recommend sending an email to every single college? No, because what's going to happen is you're going to get spammed for the rest of your life with like these shitty little pamphlets that are like, hey, by the way, please donate to us. Or like, remember that time we sent you a, like, I don't know, it's not going to be worth it. Like, your mailbox is just going to be completely filled for the rest of your life with like useless shit that you're going to have to keep like reading through, all because you wanted like a freaking University of whatever t-shirt at one point in your life. But when I'm home, drinking tea and watching K-dramas, it just it feels so good to know that like there's like chaos like somewhere else in the world that's caused by me. So like, don't do it for getting free t-shirts, or don't do it for, spiting the system. Do it because I just take so much pride in like me just being blissfully unaware of some poor university admissions office that's just going through thousands of emails asking them for free shirts. Like, I don't know if that's like sociopathic, but it's just so fun to know that like that much chaos can be caused by just a TikTok. So anyway, let's get into it. I'm gonna try and do this really quick before my camera dies, because apparently that's in like 10 minutes. So first thing we need to do is make sure Python's downloaded. So I'm gonna pull up this website. This is the Python downloading website. I'll put this link in the description. You basically want to get Python. Anything with 3 in front of it is probably good. Then you just go to the Windows executable installer. I go through this in more detail at my last video. I go through the installation, but I'm going to assume you guys have done that by now. Now, last video, to retrieve the code, we used something called git. Oh, did I just hit the mic? But I realized that so many people had problems with that I'm going to circumnavigate the need to use git this time. I'm not even going to require you to install packages. I'm making this a lot easier. Anyway, so this is the repository where all the code is for all the like TikTok examples. So what you need to do is download these, and you can kind of go to this thing and just download it as a zip file. And so I'm just going to open that up and copy it. It's in the other screen, so you can't see it. But I have this file called example, or this folder called example, and I'm going to paste it in there and extract it, and boom, Now you have the code. It was that simple. No downloading Git, no fancy commands in the terminal. No, just it's there. So I'm gonna navigate to the ask for shirts section. And here's where things get a little bit tricky. So our goal here is essentially to run this Python file. And what it's going to do, our goal here is to run the Python file, but what exactly is it going to do? So it's going to take all the colleges that are in this file. It's going to take all the colleges that are in this directory, and what it's going to do is we're going to know what to call the college from the first thing, and then we're going to know who to email it to from the second thing. But when you're emailing, you can't just use like some email that exists in like the nether of code. You have to use like an actual email. So that brings us to the first problem, is how do you customize the message to make it do what you want? So I'm going to open up this Python file, and we got a lot of stuff going on here. These are importing Python packages, which you don't really have to know what that's for. You got some variables over here, which are currently placeholders for what you're going to use as your own information when you send this, if you send this. And then this is kind of the code that, does all the magic. So you're actually not going to have to touch anything from here except for this file name. So yeah, just replace the test.txt with colleges.txt, and it'll, instead of sending it to yourself, as you could have just tested it with, it'll send it to all the colleges. Currently, it's set to test.txt because we're first going to do it with this example. So here we just have a college name that I made up and a college email that I made up. And so essentially what we're going to do is take the names and emails and kind of just insert them into the email that we're forming. So these are just a bunch of variables that store information. Like I can put this as anything, like Billy or whatever, and it'll just get kind of put into the email. So it goes like hello, and then this is going to be the college name, and then admissions office, yada yada. I just finished my overseas, a bunch of bullshit to tell them. And what you're going to do is change this to whatever it is. So like Billy Wiggums, I don't know what your name is. And then this is just like address and stuff. And it basically all just gets inserted into the like message contents. And you will be able to see this when you test it, whether it's what you want it to be. Now, the complicated part is that, you're gonna have to change this to your email and password so that you're able to, it's gonna basically sudo log into your email to send this. So this is the email and address and password that you're gonna be using to send the email as. So, and then the emails that are over here in the test.txt, like this is the email that you want to send it to, because in our actual like colleges file, these are going to be the emails that we're sending it to. So for the test one, if you want to test this for yourself, I could put my own email there and then I can send it to myself. But the main thing that you kind of have to know about how the code works is that there's this block and then there's this block, and these are actually separated by a tab. So you could add another one if you want, like whatever, like TikTok University. And then the way that you know to like separate the name from the email is by tabbing between them. And then this would just be like test@gmail.com or whatever. But these are essentially the ones that it's going to be sent to. Now, the problem that I ran into, which I feel like some of you guys are going to struggle with, is that Gmail doesn't like it when you try to access your own email from a Python script. You're going to get an email that looks like this. It's going to say sign in attempt was blocked. To sign into your account from a non-Google app. Yeah, that's because we're doing it from a Python file. So to fix this, you go to this website, while logged into your Gmail and you turn the less secure app access on, and that's actually going to allow you to, send it, because or else you're just going to get an error that says that your password's wrong, even if your password's not wrong. So back to this, I guess I'll just run this using, okay, we should be good. So I'm hiding the text file because, my information, but essentially what you're going to do is to run a Python script. I do cover this in my last coding tutorial, the Shrek thing. But essentially what you're going to do is press CD. Let me start over actually. You press CD space, and then you paste in the URL that you want to go to. And then you get to like the folder that you're using. And then if I type in Python, wow, this is really ugly. If I type in Python space and then the name of the Python file, so it's called send mail. So I'm going to do stab, and in theory, this should send me an email. No. Oh, it's not working for me because a storm knocked out my internet, and so I don't actually have an internet connection. That's convenient. Okay, I'm on the internet now. So I should be able to run this. Cool. Awesome. So sent the first one, sent the second one. Cool. Awesome. So now I go to my email, the one that I sent it to. I actually forgot which one I sent it to. Oh, cool. So I got this nice little email here that says, hello, and then it inserted the college name. I just, whatever, lying. And then it has kind of just like the placeholders that you can change in the variables. There's a little spacing that's wrong here, but you can kind of just edit that and make it look all nice. So, I placed it with Billy. I replaced first name, last name with Billy Wiggums. And now we got that. And address, all this stuff is just going to be changed. I can show you again where that's going to be changed. So if we go back to the file, it's going to be like, these are just the things that get inserted into the words. So if you put your town as like something else, then this word town is going to come up as whatever you set it to here. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to see if there's anything I forgot. But yeah, I'll put all the links in the description and see if you want to do this. I wouldn't recommend it. The reason, okay, what actually, the tutorial's done. I don't have to keep